there's nothing like wrapping my hands around a Nintendo GameCube controller, bless.
Oh, yeah.
Ever since I was a little boy, I'll never forget the day. It was late November, all right, 2001. The GameCube had launched. One of the first, actually, the first console I bought day one. But there was a catch, everybody. I didn't have any games. My mom told me I can get one game. And I was like, I want Super Smash Brothers Melee. And Nintendo was like, that's not coming for 2 more weeks. And I was like, oh, no. So
I know exactly where this is going.
What did I do?
You're just holding on that controller and just pressing buttons.
Just pretending to play Super Smash Brothers, thinking about
so
64,
sad.
thinking about how the buttons were. Oh, it felt so good, though.
I think the GameCube controller is why I know what the word ergonomic means. You know what I mean? I think without the GameCube controller, I would not know what ergonomical means.
That's absolutely true, I think, for an entire generation of idiots and gamers like us.
Yep.
But we got to play Nintendo Switch Online for the Switch 2's GameCube games. We got to play 4 of them.
Yep.
And I want to hear all about your impressions of it.
Did you play all 4?
I did.
Wow.
I did.
Let me tell
I'm
you.
a GameCube boy. Are you a GameCube boy?
I sat down. Oh, I guess I didn't sit down. I stood up because all the booths were standing up. But I got my hands on the GameCube thing. I went immediately to Soulcalibur 2. I looked at Roger. And I was like, Roger's not going to say anything. I'm just going to play Soulcalibur 2 right now.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, and that's it. And I like...
What's wrong with that?
Oh, absolutely nothing, because I was having a fantastic
Soulcalibur
time.
2 featuring Link.
Featuring Link.
Oh, he's back.
Can I tell you, like, something that's going to upset you? Is the fact that, like, I mean, it's not going to upset you because you're going to understand, right? I was a PS2 kid, and so I played the Heihachi version of Soulcalibur 2, and that was my Soulcalibur 2, and I was always jealous of the GameCube kids.
And Xbox had Spawn.
Yeah, that's true.
What were they thinking? Oh, Roger's freaking out. Roger's hyped
Did
on
you
that.
not-
Did you not know
cool.
Spawn?
Shout out to Spawn, but like when you have Link on Nintendo, it's like give me Master Chief or something. You know what I mean?
Is Spawn an Xbox exclusive?
No.
What? Okay.
What are they doing? It was
I
so
don't know.
weird.
They're
It was
just
so
putting
weird.
people anywhere.
But
Yeah.
okay, you had Heihachi, which I feel for you. You
And
know
it's
what I
like
mean?
from what I've heard, Cloud was supposed to be in it last minute and they couldn't get
Really?
it. That's
Man.
what some random
sounds
person
right.
in
You know what I
chat
mean?
said.
Yes,
but it
some
makes so
random
much
person
sense. Yeah, I'm more curious about what you have to say about the GameCube stuff, but I'll start off by saying, played Soul Calibur, looked like Soul Calibur, controlled like Soul Calibur, and I was like, cool. All right, GameCube, it's on Switch now. We did it.
Yeah.
All right.
We begged for years. Now it's here, and
Now
you
it's
don't
here,
care.
and
right?
I don't care as much as I thought I did. But I think
That's so
once we
funny.
start getting more games added, right, it's gonna be
Yeah.
more exciting. But
Well, if not Soul Calibur 2, then what?
man, is there a way you can get a DK64 version on GameCube?
Oh, you monsters. We got to play Wind Waker.
Yep.
We got to play F-Zero GX. Oh, my God, it's back, baby. Soul Calibur 2, and then Super Mario Strikers.
Yeah.
The good one. The one that made us all hyped for a Nintendo Switch version.
So where did you start? I assume with F-Zero.
I started with F-Zero.
I also played F-Zero
yes.
after Soul Calibur.
Oh, yes. And what'd you think? Is this your
This
first
is
time?
my first time playing F-Zero
Yeah.
GX. It was really cool. It was really kind of difficult, actually.
It's incredibly
I think I got
difficult.
23rd place.
Yeah,
I didn't know they
strap
had
in,
23rd
y'all.
place.
Strap in, dude. F-Zero GX specifically, infamously a difficult game. A game that I never beat. I can't wait now. I've been waiting for them to. I thought they were going to actually just put out a new port of it or something for so long, but I want to try the story mode because it was so great. It was so funny. It gave a story to Captain Falcon and them. Like, it's kind of cool, but it was brutally hard. Like, I don't think I made it past chapter 4 or something. Like, it was rough. But the game mechanically is so great. And like, dude, the game is fast.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
we talk about like technical prowess and like FPS and all that stuff nowadays. I'll never forget the first time laying my eyes on F-Zero GX at a Toys R Us. And I saw it and I'm like, how is this game here? These are the best graphics possible, man. Like, this is nuts. So yeah, being able to play it again was great. Opted into Mario Strikers enough to just be like, it's Mario Strikers, and I love that. Such a fun game, great multiplayer. Wind Waker, played that as well, and then Soul Calibur. Played as Link for a little bit, and kind of like you, I was like, all right, I get it. But like, again, I just want to get my hands on all of them. And I want to do that because I was very interested in what is GameCube going to look like on NSO? How is it similar and how is it different from the other console offerings? And it's the same.
It's the exact same, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those ones where I don't know what I expected. I guess, okay, here's the thing. What were the words they used in the direct? Because I swear to God, they said something along the lines of like, and these games are enhanced on the Nintendo Switch 2
Just like all of them are.
Just like all of them are. And they all probably technically are.
They are. And like, you know, you play Mario 64 and it's way less jaggy and it's way clearer and it's sharper. That's the thing. It's sharper.
Again, I guess, man, you can tell me better as a child of the GameCube, right? I guess I just didn't notice it as much.
I mean, it's noticeable.
Yeah.
And here's the problem.
What? It's because I've been playing them games. It's because I've been playing on them.
And that's a big problem,
Yeah.
man. That's a big problem in a lot of ways. Like, here's where we're at with this. All right. I'm very happy this is happening. I love the GameCube. Getting these GameCube games is awesome. I think the thing I'm most excited about is the games that are confirmed to be coming. I mean, these games are all awesome. Fire Emblem Path of Radiance was on that list that they showed.
Yeah.
That game is awesome. The introduction of Ike, who you know from Smash Brothers.
Yep, I do.
But yeah, that was an amazing Fire Emblem game. My first one, and I can't wait to play it again. I want to play it again. And this is going to be a great way to do that. In addition to that, there was a Pokemon Coliseum.
Pokemon Coliseum,
That's
yeah.
amazing. You know, that's
really cool.
There's a full RPG in that. Most people don't know that. They think it's like a stadium game only. It's like, no, there's a full-on story RPG. You get Umbreon and Espeon. It's dope. It's
pretty sick.
And then a ton of other stuff. And like, there's a bunch of classic GameCube games. The weird thing is, there's a couple GameCube games that have already kind of seen another life. Paper Mario and 1,000-Year Door, one of the best of Nintendo GameCube's offerings. We recently got a amazing remake of it, whatever you want to call that, last year, and it was so damn good.
Really amazing looking.
Metroid Prime Remastered.
Yep.
Amazing on the Nintendo Switch. Wind Waker HD on the Wii U. Amazing. And I definitely expected we were going to get that. I still have my fingers crossed for
Yeah, what are your thoughts on that? Because that being part of the original, like the launch run of the GameCube games that we're getting on at NSO, right? Like one of the things they mentioned during from the demo is that the games that were available to us all, and doesn't go for every game necessarily, right? But the games were available for us were all available in 16:9 except for Wind Waker.
Now here's the
and
thing.
you told me that there's a reason for that.
Yeah, the reason is it's not like, oh, now in 16:9. It's the GameCube games that back then ran in 16:9.
Yeah.
If you had the component cables, I think they were called, they run in it now. It's in game. Like you go into the start menu, go to options. If back in the day it didn't have 16:9 options, it doesn't now. And that's a bummer. It makes sense, but it's a bummer, which means Wind Waker's 4x3.
Yeah.
You know, and Wind Waker doesn't have the enhancements that the HD version did, which, you know, everyone's always going to like some things better of the original than a remake, even if the remake fixes a bunch of stuff. But like for me, like I think the Wii U version is the version of Wind Waker I want to play.
Yeah.
And so it's definitely a bummer that we're getting this one, especially because of my biggest criticism of all of these games in my experience with the GameCube on Nintendo Switch Online. And I'll tell you about that after a quick word from our sponsors. This episode's brought to you by Lost Skies. What would you do if you woke up and the world around you was now floating high in the clouds? Lost Skies is the new open-world survival-like that puts the power of exploration and choice in your hands. Use the physics-based grappling hook, glider, and your own custom airship to traverse the remains of this fractured world and uncover its mysteries. You and up to 5 friends will harness the power of ancient technology to survive the hostile islands that scatter the horizon and the threats that lurk in the sky itself. The battles are intense, so it's up to you to build a skyship to shelter you in fierce storms and take the battle to gigantic monsters. Want to take a break from fighting in the skies? Use the intuitive island creator and share your builds with the community. Head over to Steam and wishlist Lost Skies today and discover what's lurking beyond the horizon. This episode's brought to you by Monaco 2. Gather your crew, plan your heist, and let the chaos unfold in Monaco 2. Return to Monaco, a city teeming with excellent scores and gullible marks ripe for getting parted from their prized possessions. Go it alone or tackle heists as a team of 4 with online and local co-op. Just remember, even the best laid plans can blow up in your face, so you'll have to stay on your toes. Monaco 2 is the sequel to the cult classic Monaco. What's yours is mine that expands on every aspect of the game. New characters bring unique abilities and playstyles to help you escape the heat. And with new modes and procedurally generated levels, every run is full of surprises. The heist is on when Monaco 2 arrives on Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation on April 10th. Y'all know how important it is to wishlist these games. It helps the developers so much, so please wishlist Lost Skies and Monaco 2. This episode is brought to you by Rocket Money. You sign up for something, forget about it after the trial period ends, and then you're charged month after month after month. The subscriptions are there, but you're not using them. In fact, 85% of people have at least one paid subscription going unused each month.
Thanks to Rocket Money, you can see all of your subscriptions in one place and cancel the ones you're not using anymore, and save more money. Rocket Money has helped multiple members of Kind of Funny learn that they're still paying for things they totally didn't even realize. You know who I'm talking about. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/kindoffunny today. That's rocketmoney.com/kindoffunny.
So the games look great. The actual video game looks great. A big problem I've had with Nintendo Switch Online since day one is I hate that we can't turn off the border. There's always these like little gray dots kind of like on the sides, and you're like little avatars up in the corner. I think that you can turn off sometimes, but you can't turn off the gray dots. And I think it's ugly, especially when you're playing on an OLED or when you're playing on how nice of an LED screen the Switch 2 has. So it's just distracting, and it just, I'm like, oh, this isn't how I want to play these games. I might find other ways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially when Wind Waker HD on Wii U
looks like that.
is widescreen and doesn't have that stuff. And like, you know what I mean?
Roger, you watched Uncut Gems. When I forget the name of the basketball player that was like featured in that.
Garnett.
Kevin Garnett. Yeah, Kevin Garnett has a scene where like he's shown like a diamond or whatever, right? And like Adam Sandler like is like, yeah,
Why
but
would you show it to me if I can't have it?
yeah, exactly, right? Or Kevin Garnett's like, why would you show this to me when I can't have it? That's how I feel with the Wii U version of Wind Waker HD, where I'm like, I've seen it. I know how it looks.
Yeah.
You can't show that to me 2 generations ago and then go, oh, here's Wind Waker on Nintendo Online.
Yeah.
And it looked like that.
Yeah, I mean,
And here's-
with
I'm
NSO
also-
expansion pass, right? So it's like
Yeah.
you're not paying much for this thing.
And that's the thing is, I'm with you of like, I'm somebody who I support the new versions of things and the old versions of things.
Yeah.
I think both should be available.
And that's great. And so
Yes.
that's my thing is I'm happy it's here because I don't think that it means that Wind Waker HD is not going to come. It does make it feel a little silly, but also Nintendo does silly things. And it being here, I think having the original is great and it's going to make a lot of people happy. My problem is, in addition to the overlay or the borders being a problem for me, and I know I'm not alone in that, but my bigger problem is cool. The games themselves look really good. They look sharp. The same way that like the N64 games look better, like way better on the Switch. These GameCube games do too. And the majority of the games we played had widescreen support. So a lot of my problems were gone. But all of the UI for every single one of these games, all of the text. Oh my God, it looked bad.
Yeah.
It looked bad. And granted, we didn't get to play handheld mode. So
true.
you take all that on a much smaller screen, I think this might go away and not be a problem at all. But playing on a big TV, it was, I'm going to say it, categorically bad looking. When you're on it playing F-Zero and all of the information on top of this gorgeous game that is running so fast and just beautiful and everything's just jaggy and ugly. Ugh.
Yeah.
When you open up the menu of Wind Waker and it looks the way it does, Soulcalibur II, the starting screen and the little copyright stuff at the bottom of the screen looks like that. It's like, oh no, I would rather pay for a remake. I would rather pay for this to be fixed, you know? And that is something that is solved in some ways with a lot of loving care from communities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also, I just feel like I wish a little bit more was put into these.
Do you think we're ever gonna get, because like a lot of the problems you're describing, if not maybe all of them, are problems that have already persisted through NSO, and maybe they're a bit more noticeable now because we're at the GameCube era, right? So like, you know, they just compound, and now it's like, oh man, what are we doing here? What are we doing? But like, do you think that there is any impetus for Nintendo to go, all right, let's treat this better, let's do something, or do you think this is just par for the course and this is what we should expect?
I think this is what it's going to be.
Yeah.
And that it is a bummer. And again, I don't think it ruins the experience, but it definitely doesn't enhance the experience. And I think that when you're playing these games, you want them to be enhanced at this point specifically. Then the other thing is, I'm very impressed with the library. Like what we saw, I'm like, oh wow, they're hitting hard.
Yeah.
There's no Smash Melee. we'll get Smash Melee. I really think that we will.
I hope.
But with what they're showing, it's like it's getting to the point via remakes we've already gotten, remasters we've gotten. But the lineup here, there's not that many GameCube games left. GameCube is very similar to the N64, much larger library than N64, but not that much. And I feel like because we've already got so many of the big dogs, right? We have Mario Sunshine.
Yeah.
Granted, you only have it if you bought Mario 3D All-Stars when it was available for 2 seconds. But Mario Sunshine for a lot of people is on the Switch. Metroid Prime, Paper Mario, not Wind Waker, but that exists, whatever. It's like, you get what I'm saying here? Pikmin, all of the Pikmins.
Yeah.
All of the fucking Pikmins, right?
Yeah.
So you get to the point where it's, and I guess Luigi's Mansion 1's not, but it's about to be here. So yeah, it's like we're really, really, really running out of GameCube games that are realistically going to make the jump. Because of course there's a bunch of third-party stuff and licensing getting in the way and all of that. So
can we ever get NBA Street Volume 3, you think?
I mean, that's kind of what I'm saying, right? Like, probably
freaking
not.
NBA, you know? Just let it happen.
Just
let
let
it
it
slide.
happen. Come on, please.
All right, Michael Jordan. Just let them say,
Come on.
yes.
Now, I want to talk about the GameCube controller, though.
Yeah.
I did a little bit in the hardware section, or hardware discussion that we had. But of course, I have to bring it here in the GameCube discussion. They nailed it.
Yep.
The GameCube controller's here. I am thrilled with this thing. It feels right. It has rumble. It's wireless. It has added buttons to have all the Switch functionality, the Switch 2 functionality of the C, and a big change. It also has a button for an L1, which all the previous GameCube controllers were like so true to form. They were just GameCube controllers that we never had that. And so I feel like this can now just be used as a Pro controller for all the games, which is, I think, very nice. To be clear, it's a bitch ass button. Did you touch this thing?
Which one? The L?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. No.
It is like...
It's almost like they don't want you to know it's there.
Yeah, it is like a secret button, man.
Yeah.
It's a little bit weird. Like, I would say it's more similar to, like, a button on your iPhone, like your volume button, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Than it is to like a real
An
button.
actual button, yeah.
So it's a little weird. Functional though, goes a long way. It's the way you kind of get to the menu for the game selection. There's CRT filter options. I didn't get to play with that.
Yeah,
I probably should have because I think that might have helped with the text. You know, I don't know. Very excited for this. I think that I didn't expect to see GameCube. I really didn't. I thought one day we might get there, but the fact that we're here. Pretty damn cool.
I'm with you. That was a surprise for me during the direct, right? Like we predicted, we talked about it, right? But in the back of your head, you're like, Nintendo's not really going to go that far. They want to remaster all these things. The fact that we got it, really cool. And yeah, that's the thing is like, you know, I'm with you that I have my complaints, and it was a bit underwhelming actually experiencing it. It might have just been the splash of cold water to my face of, oh yeah, all right, they're just putting the thing on there. But it is cool that it's there. It's good for game preservation. I hope they do something with it. I hope they're able to go back and be like, all right, what are the small things we can fix to then hopefully over time get it to a place that makes Tim Gettys happy. But that of course is a hope.
It's a big hope, and I'm happy. I'm just not ecstatic. You know what I mean? And that's the thing too is like I was ecstatic watching the direct, and when they're talking, let's talk about NSO, and it went black, and I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna do it.
Yep.
And then we hear the
I think that was your biggest pop.
I think it was too.
Yeah.
I mean that was insane. It's like oh my god, and then Fire Emblem and all that. It's like oh wow, they're really giving me the guy that wants this. Kind of what I want from it. So game wise, at least. So I think that's really, really cool. And I had one other thing I want to say. I've been saying this for a long time, but I know it's very easy to criticize Nintendo for a million things, and they do a lot of things wrong. And I know people criticize Nintendo Switch Online specifically. I just can't stress enough how amazing a value it is. And it only continues to get more and more of a value. And so far, at least, those games don't leave. Like, other game catalogs, whatever, like things go away. For this subscription service, you get all of these classic Nintendo games, and at this point, Sega Genesis games and like other systems, and it's like right now in 2025, pretty much any GameCube, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Game Boy Advance, N64, and soon to be GameCube game, Sega Genesis game. I'd say 90% of the ones you want to play, they're there.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong 64 is not there.
But honestly, how many people, even though it's an excellent game that's better than Conker's Bad Fur Day, but how many people are out here being like, I want to play DK64?
But it should be there.
It should be there.
It should be there.
Yeah.
And it's not, you know? And why is it not? Like, I get it. Like, at this point, I don't get it. It should be there. But the majority of things are there. And I just, like, I want to shout that out because for one subscription price, you just get all of the best games ever made. Not all of them.
A lot of them,
Maybe
though.
all of them. Just kidding. Love you guys. Anyways, we're doing a whole bunch of these conversations. Please check out the Kinda Funny Gamescast podcast feed or all of our videos on youtube.com/kindafunnygames. Thank you all for supporting us. This has been great, and goddamn, what a fun day this has been.
Oh, yeah.
Till next time, love you all. Goodbye.